Chelsea.
I'm Christelle.
And we are Blondie's Kitchen.
So today we're going to be showing you how to make our incredible brownie recipe. We always like to add something different to our brownies, but this base recipe you can use and add whatever you like. But today we're adding bourbon biscuits.
Let's get started. First things first, we're going to melt our butter, 250-gram block.
So this recipe is really easy because you don't have to measure the butter, it's done for you. Just buy one block of butter.
250 grams.
250 grams.
Bosh. In on a medium-high heat with the whole block. If you want it to melt really fast, you can slice up the block, but we're just going straight in for simplicity. While that butter starts melting, I'm going to get the oven preheating. What temperature are we setting the oven to? It's 175. Perfect. Make sure you preheat the oven before you start. That's always our top tip for anything baking, because you want the oven to be at the correct temperature before you go in with your bake. Otherwise, it's just going to take longer and you're going to wonder why it didn't take the correct amount of cooking time, and it's because you didn't preheat your oven first. So oven's preheating, butter's melting. Should we line our brownie tin?
Brownie tin. Okay, so I've got a piece of parchment paper. I'm going to cut it to I pre-cut this one, but you want it to be a similar size, maybe an inch longer, either end of the tray. So I'm going to place it on top, and you need a pair of scissors. So if you're making this with kids, just make sure that you're being safe.
Supervised.
So I'm going to make 4 little snips. This trick, honestly, will save your life when you're lining cake tins, loaf cakes. It works for it all.
Anything square or rectangular.
Because I'll just show you, if I push this down, you're going to see that the edges are all going to be creased, the brownie mix is going to get stuck in, it's not going to bake like a perfect square, and I want it to bake like a perfect square. So I'm going to get my scissors, and you see these 2 lines here, this is where I'm going to make the cuts on the paper, so that's why I need it to be a little bit bigger. So the first cut is here, about 2 inches long. Right,
that's every corner.
So just the corners are cut. We're going to put it on top, and then we're literally just going to push down. And the sides
fold into each other.
Fold into each other. And there you go.
And you
set this aside now.
So that's ready. Tin lined, oven preheating, butter melting, you're ready to go. You want to take your butter slightly, when you can start smelling it, be nice and nutty.
And you're obsessed.
It's the best smell ever. I literally want to dive head first into this melted butter. Once your butter's melting, you want to take it a bit further because A, you want it to go slightly brown because it adds incredible flavour, and B, you want your butter to be boiling hot so that it melts our chocolate, because we're not melting our chocolate over a bain-marie or putting it in the microwave. We're simply melting our butter, melting our chocolate even, in the heat of the butter.
Why are we not going to be doing it over a bain-marie? Because a lot of people look down on the way we're making it.
Because firstly, it's so much easier. For us, it's all about making your lives easier, and as long as the result is equally incredible, why go to the hassle of putting your chocolate over a bain-marie? Also, some people technically find that difficult and take it too far and can burn the edges. So this is just a foolproof way, guys. You can't get this wrong, and we're all about making sure you get it right.
And if your stove's broken or anything like that, you still can make brownies. Just melt the butter in the microwave, get it really hot, and then you can pour it over the chocolate.
You need it to be bubbling. That's how hot you want it. Our butter is now bubbling. It's really nice and hot. I'm just going to whack up the heat slightly just to get it really bubbling. And then we've got 375 grams of good quality dark chocolate. We're using a Lindt chocolate, but you can use anything over 70% dark for this.
So if you were to use milk chocolate, it's not going to work. Your brownies won't even taste like chocolate, which is mad, because you'd think like, I actually don't even like dark chocolate, but I would never make brownies without dark chocolate because the milk content in the milk chocolate is so much higher than dark chocolate, so it just doesn't work.
We can pour our dark chocolate straight into our melted butter.
Yep.
And the reason why we're pouring the chocolate into the butter and not the other way around is because the heat of the pan is nice and hot and we want to melt the chocolate. I'm just going to move this out the way. That's perfect. So the chocolate is just going to melt into the butter. So you can actually just put that to the side and leave it, and we can get all the other ingredients ready while that chocolate just melts. We're going to go into our bowl with is the sugar and the eggs. So we've got 375 grams of golden caster and 5 large eggs.
I'm gonna crack my eggs.
So eggs and sugar, you wanna beat together just until they're nice and combined. You're not looking to aerate the mixture at all, so we can do this by hand. So the eggs are in, and then we're gonna go in with the sugar, 375 grams. We're using golden caster sugar, but you don't have to use golden, you can use regular sugar. We just like golden because it's not bleached, so it's a bit better for you, and it adds almost like a caramel note to the brownie.
I'm just going to reuse my spatula that I was mixing the chocolate and the butter together.
Yeah, I can give you something if you want.
It's fine. This waste washing up. Don't need to.
Okay.
Same thing. So you just want to mix this together just so it's incorporated. It doesn't need to be whisked and aerated. It just has to be smooth. It looks a bit gloopy, doesn't it? But that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. You want it to just be gloopy and combined. You're not looking to break down the sugar particles or anything like that. Once it's combined, you can then add your chocolate. So we're going in with our melted chocolate and butter. Just pour all of that chocolate and butter mix in.
And then we will mix it together.
And you just want to fully combine the butter, the chocolate, the sugar and the eggs.
I've got a tiny bit left.
Let's get it in. Waste not, want not. Use a spatula, and if you're whisking or using a wooden spoon, because any will do, just make sure you get a spatula to get the last of all the chocolate in.
Beautiful.
Perfect. And then you want to go in with your dry ingredients. We've got 170 grams of plain flour going straight in with a pinch of salt. We always add salt to balance out the sweetness of all of our bakes. And you just want to fold this in until it's all combined.
And if you did use a food mixer, it is so much quicker, but I think there's something so therapeutic about mixing the brownie mix, don't you?
100%. Christelle, I feel like I need you to take over. She's so much stronger than me.
I don't know why she says that.
You
Come
are.
to the gym with me.
She's giving it a good beating. So yeah, you can be firm with it. You don't need to worry.
But you also want to always, always, always use plain flour.
Definitely.
There's no self-raising flour in this recipe because we want our brownies to be fudgy, thick and dense,
not
light and
like
aerated.
A sponge. Our pre-lined tin, we're ready. This is the base brownie, and I know we're adding bourbons to this, but like Christelle said at the beginning, you just literally, this recipe
is God.
It's your go-to brownie recipe now. Like, do anything with it.
Nutella, lotus spread, put Oreos in there.
Anything.
It's endless and it's so adaptable.
And if you wanted to put some bourbon biscuits on the base of your tin before you cover it with brownie mix, you can do that as well. This is our brownie beginner's recipe though, so we're just going to show you going fully in. Oh my God. And then topping with bourbon biscuits.
I did quite well there, didn't I?
Yeah, you did so well.
Make sure it's all in the corners.
It does sort of take itself there, so you can just give it a shimmy.
Give it a wobble. Okay, so now we're going to add our brownies, our
bourbons
biscuits. So I've got 12 here because I want to make sure each
it's not a cookie.
Each brownie gets a biscuit. We're going to do.
How many do you do? 3 across the top?
Yeah, and then we're going to push them down slightly.
Yum.
I want to make sure all the bourbon
are spelt the right way up. That's the wrong way round.
I did it again!
That looks beautiful. We're ready to bake. So this can bake on the middle shelf in your preheated oven at 175 for around 25 to 30 minutes. You're literally looking for a slight crust to form and them to be cooked all the way through with a very, very slight wobble in the middle once baked, and that's how you'll know they'll be extremely fudgy and perfect.
Go.
Thank
you.
you.
Good. Now it's clean up time.
So once your brownies have baked, you cool them on a wire rack until
That was so American.
Was it?
Yeah, call them on a wire rack.
Oh my God, I was speaking complete English.
Oh my God, it's so American.
Our big slab of brownie that we're going to show you how to slice perfectly. So it's best if you chill the brownie overnight if you want to get perfectly straight slices. You don't have to do those, so if you're not that bothered, don't worry. We're going to show you another tip. Just boil the kettle. Going to fill a jug with some hot water. And make sure you've got a serrated knife. So there's a jug of boiling water.
So be careful when you're doing this because this is very hot. So I'm going to put my knife in. Just want to make sure it gets really hot. So what this is going to do, it's going to melt the chocolate when I slice. And then I'm going to score just over here and go all the way down.
The Bourbon biscuits act as a ruler guide, which is quite useful.
And I'm going to come out. I'm going to put my knife back in. So in between each cut, I'm going to dip back in the hot water and then just push the excess brownie off my knife on the edge of my jug. And then we're going to go in again.
So it's 3 across the top.
And then we're back in again. There we go, they're all sliced. And the way we like to serve our brownies are stacked up on top of each other, aren't they?
Everything on a height.
So we got a lovely cake
Stand.
Stand.
Wow, they look so fudgy.
Look how fudgy that is. Like,
the best.
there you go, you can get the other side. But look at that. That is proper gooey.
Oh my God, wow. The smell as well is just incredible. But
Can you imagine giving this to somebody? Like, wow.
If you want to, we underbake them slightly. We've told you to do them for 25 to 30 with a slight wobble on purpose so that they're ultra fudgy. But if you like them a bit more baked, you can obviously bake them for 30 to 35 minutes. But this is how you make our unbelievable Bourbon biscuit brownies. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we can't wait to see how yours turn out.
Don't forget to tag us.